Shit needs to be turned off. Oh. Oh, that's right. It's going down like this, motherfucker. Oh, where's your prayer?
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog need. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
He destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you. I'm pretending like I didn't.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying loud enough. Make my shit loud.
Well, gotta get a piece of mind. Sometimes a little like magic. Said it feels like magic.
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
My eye, plus I'm in love with a bitch I can't stand.
You're a philosopher? Yeah. You're a philosopher? Yeah. You're a philosopher? Yeah. I think very deeply.
I'm in your business.
Hold up. You don't know nothing about that shit, bitch.
I'm in your business.
Hold up. You don't know nothing about that shit, bitch.
Dance with me.
You got to pray to God and tell God your rent due. Any God that didn't know your rent was due ain't God.
Come with baggage, just I ain't Louis was on.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you. Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Where's all that noise? Oh, that's just Dad.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Some people, they feel like you almost have to sell your soul to get fame, or is it just hard work, or is it luck? Is it consequence? Is it?
No, most of us in sold our soul. We just called it something else.
Some people, they feel like you almost have to sell your soul to get fame, or is it just hard work, or is it luck? Is it consequence? Is it?
No, most of us in sold our soul. We just called it something else.
To the east, to the west, to the south, above, below, Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, I am glad that I am talking coherently, and I think I can be understood. With me and my family, everybody seems to understand me, but I think you can understand me, which is, was close to not being the case, I guess is the best way I could say it. I think I'm gonna start right off again. Only a few of you really know what I've been going through. And so I will start off with that before I start talking about the games tonight and the good fight. Yeah, it was a good fight tonight. But about 3 weeks ago, I was sitting with my son and just sitting there, and I stood up and I said, "I'm talking funny." And, my son kept again, he's like, "Can you move your arm? Is a part of your body feeling numb?" And it really wasn't. And so I come upstairs and tell my wife, I'm like, I was talking funny. And, it's like, she was like, "Wow." And so the next day I take my daughter to Baton and I walk a mile. it was a nice day. I walked. It was like a little circle I could walk, and these 7 to 8 times was a mile. So the next day, which was like about 3 weeks ago, I call my doctor and tell her what happened. And she tells me to go up to the fucking hospital to have an MRI, had a CAT scan, and all that shit. And I didn't leave the hospital for like 4 days. So apparently I had, and it wasn't like, a T, I think it's called there's like a mini stroke you can have. I had like a full-blown stroke. When they did the CAT scan, they found damage. So I had a stroke and I was in the hospital for 4 days. My heart went into AFib, which still is today. I don't know if you can see it, but they put this big old pad and they fucking shocked me and it put my heart in rhythm. I drank some coffee the next day. It put my shit out of rhythm. They shocked me again. My heart didn't stay in rhythm. So right now my heart is in rhythm like 64% of the time. And as you see, what happened to Bobby Hemmett luckily didn't happen to me. And I must say, I'm a pretty active person. I don't drink soda. I eat very little, almost next to zero sugar. So I pretty much do a lot of things right. But my aunt had a stroke. My cousin had a stroke that this nigga can't talk. He can't do anything. I mean, he can't even feed himself. He's just living in a rest home, and that nigga's alive. But one thing, I will say, where's this shit at? You have to mess with things that help brain activity, and I know the Shugite and my use of Shugite helped me. Now, do I feel any residual things? Again, as I said, my heart is in AFib. Right now, I'm taking blood thinners. That's why I got to wear this motherfucker. Because if something happens to me, they need to know that, I'm on blood thinners. If I get to bleeding and shit, the shit's going to spray. So I got to wear this everywhere. And I'm on other medications. So this is how lucky I got. And it's like the way the numerologist, explained it. It was like I was almost 1 in a million people. Because what happened is the blood clot. See, what happens when you're in AFib, what happens is you can get a hole in your heart or blood starts pooling in your heart. And so that's what actually happened to me. Blood started pooling into my heart because my heart is just beating so fast and it's working so hard. So blood started pooling. And then what happened is, some shit went into my brain. And luckily, when the shit went into my brain, it bust apart. Now, aneurysm is when it goes into your brain and, it just clogs your shit up. Luckily, the shit bust apart and it didn't do any real damage. Now, I might have to do a little, it feels like what it feels like is like my jaw doesn't open up, my mouth doesn't open up enough. That's about the only thing I could say. To me, I hear it. But other than that, I've played pickleball since. But what I was going to say is like what the thing that I'm still on medication for. It's like right now, my heart is beating 73 beats per minute. Normally, when you're not doing anything, it should be about 50, 60. So what it showed is that I'm in AFib about 60% of the time. And so, that's why I haven't been on. And that's kind of what I went through. But I'm going to say some things that, it's not going to mean a lot to anybody, but it's real. And so, part of what I think saved me is these people, these chicks, and I ain't had to sell my soul to them. And there ain't a lot of talk about the men that have this energy. But, when you're in health crises, it ain't necessarily God that you got to cry to, or you got to be like, hey, it is what you practice. When you have things in life-changing events, you have to rely on your practice. And, I've showed this book several times and I know they help me and I'm not going to really go on. And the other thing is, these motherfuckers, when they shock your heart, it ain't like you awake. And these niggas was giving me fentanyl to put me to sleep for like 10 or 15 minutes. And that's where they come in. There's, like I said before, you have to, like when death really comes, you don't have a lot of time to do what a lot of this says. But like when they put you out and stuff, there's practices you can do. And I thank them for their practices. And so, and you know, all the things in this room and in this house that help me. So I just wanted to, you know, get that out the way and tell you why I haven't been coming on. And so, you know, a few of you know, like PJ Allen, thank you, you know, for checking on me. I mean, you know, I let people that check on me and let them know. So what's happening, PJ? Thank you for joining me. Oh. 43, thank you for joining me. Jamar 3224, thank you. Dr. Sinister, thank you. James Gant, thank you. And so, you know, that's, you know, I know it's a little personal, but that's what I went through. And luckily, you know, we see what Bobby Hemmett went through. And like what Bobby Hemmett went through is definitely like what my cousin went through. My cousin is wiped out. My cousin can't feed himself. And my cousin is only 2 or 3 years older than me. So, and this beer I'm drinking tonight is Fuckers. It means red beer. It's not very good, but it was cold. So pop them if you got them. Haven't really smoked weed since. So, oh, thank you. Thank you, homeboy, boy Nick. And I wanted to play your video that you played about what a woman, you know, what you said about, what you did a video with your daughters, and what you said is really, you know, if you're a man, the first woman, you should be an example to your daughter. You know, you definitely should be an example to your daughters, and your daughters should be some of the first people that what is a man and what is a man compared to. And then, you know, I have 5 sons, and so my daughter knows all of them well, but 2, really all of them well, but really 1. She grew up with all of them, but really 1. And so she sees how they carry themselves. And now, you know, they got their own relationships and stuff. She sees how they carry themselves. And that's, you know, that's how it should be. Your daughter should love you. Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. Because I was just watching it before I came on. And, you know, you like this is what's funny. You know, while I was in the hospital, and I hope I can say this without getting emotional, I didn't really care about myself. I mean, kind of hard to get out. The one thing that shook me up more than anything is how, like, my oldest children, they went through it with me. You know, they've had me for 20 some years. My 12-year-old only had me for 12. You know, and that's the thing that of all this, that's the thing that hurt me the most was like, how would this affect her? And it's hard for me even to, you know, to say it. That's just being real. It's like, how would she feel? And because when her mother brought her up to see me, you know, she was like saying she had been crying. Because, you know, you don't expect to see your father laying in the hospital bed, got a million things. And let me tell you, man, in the hospital ain't no place to sleep. I was up there in intensive care. Well, I was on the floor as intensive care, but it wasn't quite intensive care. So I've got wires all in me, you know, they're checking me every 2 hours, waking me up all night. And, you know, my heart like was averaging 140 and stuff. So, you know, they put me on this medication that I'm still on to try to bring my heart rate down. So, homie, what's happening? Yes. Now the game tonight, I'm going to tell you one thing that if you guys didn't notice about the game, and I'll talk about the fight too, because it was some great fights. But Ant went off in the first half. But did y'all notice at the end of the first half how tired Ant got? And did you notice in the third quarter, I don't know if y'all picked up on it, but when the third quarter started, Ant was gassed. Now think about it. Ant had sat down all halftime, came out, and you could just see that he was tired. Ant didn't get his wind back into the fourth quarter. I'm going to tell you what, now think about this with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves got 3 7-footers because McDaniels is 7'2". And Joker has trouble. Now, Joker, he had a good game, but he didn't have a dominant game. And then Murray didn't score until the second half. You know, because he got players that match up well with him. And there's nobody, and I mean, Ant killed Reggie Jackson. I mean, Reggie Jackson was just embarrassed. Ant was killing him. But Ant got tired. Like all that energy put out in the first half, he really got tired. But defensively, they are sound. And they made Denver take some hard shots. Yes, Joker made that 3. Murray's 3 also, they didn't guard him. But that one with that move where Murray went to the hoop and he went this way and threw it behind his head, that was a sweet move. But again, and Nas's dunk was super nasty. That dunk was super nasty. Nas's dunk, oh, that tip dunk he had, because remember, he went baseline and then he had that tip dunk. And keep in mind, you know, they got, Nas is 6'11". So when Towns go out, they got a 6'11" dude come in. And long as McDaniel's in there, they still almost 7 foot across the back end. And McDaniel's is starting to hit his shots. So, and then Ant got his win in the fourth quarter. And, you know, it's like they don't have anybody to deal with him. Now, you know, they've got people that can guard Murray, but the Nuggets have no one to beat Ant. And the truth be told, they blew the game to get the number 1 seed because when they played last in Denver, they had them beat. They literally had them beat. And so, El Reborn, Amaru Khan, what's happening? Thank you. So they had them beat. They did have them beat. So it's a tough matchup, you know. And Joker had, when they showed he had 26 points, I was surprised because it's where you score and you don't make a difference in the game. Joker's 26 points did not make a difference in the game. I didn't think it made a difference at all. So it was an enjoyable game watching them. The coach had straight up surgery. The coach tore his patella. And when they hit the coach was like, oh, fuck. You knew he was hurt. So, and I don't know if they drove him there, but when you've had surgery and, blood clots flying on a plane, I don't know if they drove him there. I doubt it. But, like a lot of people after surgery, you don't want to fly, especially in your legs. So I thought that was interesting. I want the Wolves to win it all. Hey, I hope so too. When KCP hit that 3, Ant-Man ran under the hoop instead of checking him and let him open on purpose. Oh, and when he like beat his stuff down, yeah, that was a sweet play. Ant played good defense. That's what I'm saying. They played tough defense. Towns, again, they make him the clown. He has some stupid fouls, again. Like even McDaniels. Remember when McDaniels brought the ball up and he lost it on purpose to keep the game interesting for the gamblers? Y'all remember that? He lost the ball on purpose. He bring it up, he's flubbing it. And Conley, he threw one away on purpose. Yeah, Conley threw one away on purpose too, to keep them in the game because they were starting to pull away. And then Conley threw it away. I need Minnesota to win this series, and my Lakers got bounced. Oh, did y'all? I wish I could catch a Darvin Ham's interview. He gave it to him. He called LeBron James the general manager. He said we wasted all those picks bringing Russell here to make him a scapegoat. That's exactly what he says here. We brought Russell here to make him a scapegoat. I mean, Russell's game is shot. Like like what makes no sense about the NBA is they got all these players that aren't like obviously their game is past them. Like Russell. Russell's game is past them. Doesn't really play D. What does he do? He can't really shoot without manipulation. They don't manipulate his shot. He can't really shoot. James Harden played decent. He played decent, but didn't make a difference. Yeah, throwing the ball away radically. Yes. Lorenzo, what's happening? Thank you for joining. And so, I thought that, that kept them in the game. Them sloppy, unnecessary turnovers kept them in the game. So, Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. It's like, okay, they want to keep them in the game. And then they broke their spirit right at the end. But again, Joker's he's matched up. He's having a hard time matching up. When they subbed in Towns with 5 fouls, Reed was fired. That was stupid. I agree. That was after his baseline shot, and that was after his tip. His tip was like that too. Oh, CWE, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. So, yes, we was all hyped. We watched it at my brother-in-law's. He had got a couple TVs, and so he had taken his one in his basement, and he had bought one. So we was over there chilling. He cooked and everything. He made ribs. We're gonna spend Mother's Day there next weekend, and I hope everybody that loves their mothers and able to celebrate their mothers, their wives. That's what it's for. It's a day that, if your parents are alive, and I'm sorry, if your parents are alive, I surprised Minnesota won first in Denver. Yeah. And I was saying, as I mentioned before, Ant was gassed. Ant wasn't playing D. He at the end of the second quarter, Ant wasn't playing D. He was barely going back and forth. So, and they wasn't bringing him out. They wasn't bringing him out, which I thought. And when he started the third quarter, he still hadn't got his second wind, as we call it. He still hadn't got his second wind. And so it wasn't until like the end of the third quarter he hit his second wind. Because, altitude up there affects people. And so, yeah. My Pacers advanced. Yeah, they did. Do I got Dallas or OKC? I got OKC. I think OKC should, I think OKC is not great defensively, but neither is Dallas. So that's what's going to be interesting. And it's not hard. It's not hard to see that right now the Timberwolves have the best defense as far as the way they set it up. They have the best defense. So I wanted to put that out there. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting games. Now the next thing is, did you guys see the fight tonight? I mean, it was Carnelo. I want to say who was the fight. The fight before. The fight before must have been the super middleweight. That was a pretty decent fight. I only watched the 2 or 3 fights, but Carnelo was like, it looked like dude was gonna give him smoke. And did y'all catch it? Carnelo hit that dude in the second round with a straight right, pow! And it floored him. And Carnelo just peppered him. It was a good fight. I was stationed in Colorado at Fort Carson. And man, the first few months was hard working out until I adjusted. Exactly. Yeah, because your lungs is just not used to expanding. And it's like, I think the other part is like your cars too. It was like in the mountains of North Carolina. Like I would drive through the mountains, and they have to adjust the cars because the way the engines, at high altitude, the way the engines, and I'm talking about in the 80s, and so maybe it's different. But I remember when I would go through the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee, the cars wouldn't react the same because of the way the air came through, and it's still, in the 80s was still what is the word? You didn't have not the carburetor. Yeah, the carburetors. You didn't have the carburetors. So I know before you could adjust your carburetor a certain way, but now you have the electronic system. So I heard Carmelo was fighting, but didn't know he was going to fight. I don't know. I mean, they've been hyping this fight up for a while, but he looked good. I mean, dude pressed him, but when he knocked him down, dude was like, hey, he put some shit on his mind. He really did put some shit on his mind. He hit him with pow. And then even though dude was pressing him, he was off balance a lot. So it was like the dude, what it was, Mondi won the first round. Carnelo won the second. Mondi won the third round. And then when Carnelo knocked him down, that was the first time he was an 8-2 round. So Carnelo ended up winning, I think it was 9 rounds to 2. Yeah, I think Carnelo won 9 rounds. And Carnelo looked sharp. He stood up in the corner the whole fight, but didn't waste a lot of energy, but he looked sharp. And the guy was, decent, but I learned something. Tiffany blue is a thing, y'all, huh? Easter egg. Or what is it, sparrow or robin shell is a color? Like, I'd never heard of such a thing. I used to go to Colorado Springs, visit my aunt and uncle during high school years. I would come back to Ohio running rings around everybody on the court. Yeah, it probably really got your win. The way I'm seeing it, Mavs versus Nick in the NBA Finals. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if the Knicks are good enough defensively. That's my thing. It's like, yeah, they can score, but who are they stopping? Now, again, all of it is fixed. If you say, because what it's all looking at, what is going to generate the most ads? That's what we got to look at, is what is going to generate the most ads. The only time the NBA didn't care about money was when they let the Spurs win. And that one year they did let Dallas win. They didn't really care about the ads. Because everybody knows, the Spurs' first championship, nobody watched that stuff. It was some of the worst ratings, if y'all remember that. Those were some of the worst ratings in NBA history as far as a championship. And I think it was a strike-shortened season, too. But again, nobody wanted the Spurs championship, as good as Tim Duncan was, it just wasn't money-making TV. And that's what you have to look at. Is like, who... we have to really look at, Ants got the world by the horns. And you got to say, well, they let Jordan make it so far until they let him finally cross over. I don't know, but I think one thing that still has to be active is this city still won a championship with the Minneapolis Lakers. Now, it is a different team, but it's still the Minneapolis team. So I think that plays a part in it, if they're going to let them win or not. I think that still plays a part. So hopefully they will, hopefully they will. So we'll see. I'd like to see them in, but I don't know. So yeah, they like the Knicks, and the Knicks is good TV. They like the crowd, and again, the Knicks is what the Cowboys, I think, is the number one the biggest financial team, I think, is the Cowboys. The second financial team is the Knicks. And the Knicks, the Cowboys and the Knicks go back and forth, the most valuable teams. And despite the Knicks winning or losing, they are still, a financial success. And so the Knicks don't really need to win to be financial. So that's one thing we've learned from a business standpoint. And so we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be them or not. D Stills, what's happening? I think we going back to the 2000 type of basketball. Small Mark running the league. Small running the league. Okay. I mean, it could be. There's more. The defensive aspect of the Timberwolves definitely, it looks like it plays a part. They seem to like that, and the nation loves Ant. Ant's got 2 commercials, and it's funny how they highlight his shoes. And his shoes, I mean, every shoe is better with custom-made insoles, but small market running the league. Yeah, and it's like, think about it. Dallas, they only gave them one. Miami got it because of LeBron, and people forget Miami is still a small market. And this city, we are the 16th biggest city in the country, because I think it's only 5 million people in Minnesota, the whole state, and the most of the people live in the Twin Cities. There's 3.5 million people in the Twin Cities, so I guess we're a small market, but there's everything here. We got 3 professional teams. We are centrally located in the country. So everything you want is here. Everything you want is here. So yeah, we might see them, let them go through. The country loves Ant. And what did Ant say? I'm killing everybody. And that, don't forget that dunk he did on Garnett, and who was the other dude that was right there trying to guard him, and he's just making these mugs, or not Durant. He dunked on Durant. So, but no American-born players won MVP since 18. That's a good point. And a lot of people thought that Ant had a chance of winning the MVP this year. Adam Silver's small market European agenda has gone too far. That's a good point. Miami won it before LeBron got there. Yeah, they won it with Shaq and Dwayne Wade. But when they beat Dallas, and all truth to be told, how many free throws did Dwayne Wade make? Didn't Dwayne Wade make like 20 free throws? Karl Malone like numbers. Didn't he make like 20 free throws? So that was kind of that was kind of interesting the way Dwayne Wade got all those free throws. So, but and they had a little short run, put him in the finals, lost a couple. He dunked on Beal, Bradley Beal. Like really, like Bradley Beal was trying to make some effort too. That's what was so funny about it. In his face, he looked like he could, he had effort, but his effort got dunked in the face. And did y'all see the video of Bradley Beal? A couple people been showing this around where Bradley Beal is at some college or junior high, maybe college, and he's talking, but I'm better than everybody here. Not anymore, you're not. Not anymore, you're not. Your game is gone. And it's like, it makes you wonder all the money they give some of these people. The money that they give some of these people, I can hear my voice is weak from not talking. So, what D Wade Flash? Yeah, he was Flash back then. And remember, he was an older player coming into the league too. I think he redshirted a year. I think Dwayne Wade redshirted a year. So, yeah, I can hear my voice is weak from not really talking. So it's gonna take me a minute to get my lungs. So I didn't plan on going terribly long tonight, because I haven't been, just talking for a while. So, and you know what? That's why because Ant talked shit to Durant. That's why they called that tech on him, because Ant talked shit to Durant. They called the tech on him. Like, what other reason did they call the tech for? Like, all he did is dunked on him and just stared at Reggie Jackson. And again, what is Reggie Jackson? He ain't quick anymore. They ain't gonna put Murray on him because they don't want Murray to get fouls. Like, he's a hard matchup for Denver, because again, they ain't gonna put Murray on him because they don't want him to have the fouls. So they gonna put Jackson on him, and Jackson's too small. So it's gonna be interesting. Ooh, man, I ate pork today, and I rarely eat pork, but I'm getting that pork like I'm getting the indigestion of pork. They were saying the kid at the camp was Ant-Man in that video. Okay, that was Ant. Okay, yeah. That's okay. That's where the video is. But I'm gonna give my voice a slight break because I'm just getting back into it. I think what Brother Nick said in this short video of his is beautiful, and I definitely want to share this. And so, I'm gonna turn myself. Oh, I've been off. Okay. There we go.
Men. Mi gente, men, fellows, dudes, chaps, listen to me. Short, very short video. If you have daughters, the first man in your daughter's life is you. The first man in your daughter's life should be you. The first man your daughter should ever trust should be you. Whatever you do, don't shake her faith in you as a man and as a leader. And just being a man don't automatically make you a leader and vice versa. But man, when you put the two together, a man that can lead, that's a formidable combination. From diapers to walking her out the front doors when she's striking out on her own. You behind her, but she know you got her back. When she thinks of a social pillar, you should be the one that pops. You should be the one that pop in her mind right off the bat. Man's man, social pillar. You should be that first man that pops in her head. I ain't saying other men should. If she married, of course, she should think highly of her husband, granddaddy, and all that other stuff. But you're the daddy. You should be the first man that pops in her head when she think of strong, righteous man. You, daddy, you. Make it happen.
And I'll add this, like already, and that's beautiful. Beautiful daughters. That's a beautiful story. I saw the picture. You showed a picture one time of when your daughter got married, and that was beautiful. And let me add this to it. I already told my daughter, I taught her another thing. I'm already preparing her for life circumstances. I said, don't get in the car with a bunch of dudes. And I said, if a guy suggests that, if it's a bunch of dudes, and he suggests you get in the car with him, he ain't your friend. Already telling her about when you're in a social environment, don't never leave a drink. Don't take a drink from somebody that you didn't see where it came from. I'm already giving these kind of life situations, you know? And so, you know, people don't understand. Like when I open the door for my wife, I open the door for my daughter. I open the door for both of them. Now, there's maybe a time where I go through first and I hold the door and they walk behind me. But it's like the way I treat my wife, the way I treat her mother, like my daughter's mother is one of my better friends too. So, you know, there's a lot of eyes on you. So I'm already trying to give her life situations. And so that was beautiful by Brother Nick. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me use it because that was beautiful. And people don't understand like the eyes on you. And you know, he talked about being a leader. Like that's what your family turns to you for. Like as your parents get older, like everybody here grown, so you know your parents are older. So can they look to you to lead them as well as parents get older? I mean, my mother's like 83 years old now. You know, you understand? Now, I know a lot of your parents aren't quite as old, but you know, this is where, you know, the younger generations takes the leadership. So I remember that picture. That was a beautiful picture indeed. Yes. I have a grown daughter and a 12-year-old daughter, and I'm giving her all types of game like I did with her big sister. Yes. Yes. That's right. You need to. I mean, it's like you have to be. And you know, like we see so much bashing of women and women saying, and like you can tell women that they come in there and say, well, you know, like one chick I listened to, and I'm not gonna bash anybody, but she was like, for me to go out with a person, he has to pay my rent. Again, do you think this chick had a dad in her life that she feels that way? That for a man just to take her out, he's got to pay her rent? I mean, come on, you know, it's like, you know, we as brothers, again, you know, I mentioned stories and I mentioned society things that really pay a difference. And it's like, if you looked at the movie Claudine, and remember, you remember when they brought people into the concrete jungle and Claudine shows it. It's like, okay, you put the man out, we'll give you all these benefits. You ain't got to work. Now, this affected us more than it affected the European community. It affected our community because the Europeans was getting the same thing, especially poorer Europeans. But it didn't seem to affect their nuclear family because they would be like, well, we're going to take less benefits because this dude going to be in the house. You're going to give us a little help. You know, we're still going to take benefits, but it really kind of, it did set up a generational curse of, well, all I got to do is have kids and I'll get a free ride. I'll get Section 8. I'll get food stamps. I'll get electricity and all these subsidies. And I don't need a man. Well, and when you look at like when society starts to crumble, it's the family that starts to crumble. Like if you look at them and when they looked at Manifest Destiny and they spread across the country, they didn't spread across the country with just women. They spread across the country with families. That's to them what Manifest Destiny was families spreading across the country. When they lied and said it was a gold rush, It really wasn't a gold rush. Yes, a little bit of gold was found in the West, but they was trying to put bodies out there after they, we defeated them in 1847. They was trying to put bodies out West, so that's why they lied about all that. But look at the pictures of Manifest Destiny. You see families. So they knew, to keep society, it was about families. So, and so again, you teach your men, you teach your sons to be respectful of women. And you teach your daughters to be mothers, healers, caring, smart. And that's why, like my wife wants to start a channel where we talk about older people getting married. I've been married, well, technically 4 times. And I love being married. I love that she's my wife. Like, she got a little upset with me last night, because we've been going through a lot of stuff, But, I mean, when it comes down to it, I love you and there's nothing really, you stuck with me. And this is the thing, let me tell you, when you have a health crisis and you got to go through that alone and ain't nobody giving you energy, do you know how scary that would be? That there ain't nobody, when you look up your eyes, you in that room by yourself and you seeing all these strangers trying to save your life. I mean, I don't think people think about that. When you're in that hospital by yourself and nobody comes to see you while you fighting for your life. I mean, do you understand that the relationships you build, that those times people come into your life to give you energy and help you heal? And I don't think people understand that. That there's times you need people. There's times you need close people. And this is how you get better. Now, I will say I can't go much longer. My wind is, I've been sick. I've been had a cold too, so I can kind of feel. So, I'm gonna have to cut this short because my wind is a little short. I do feel it. And I can't let my heart get so high. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, I'm not bad. I'm at 85 beats per minute, But I could just tell. I've got some congestion in my lungs. So I'll try to go a little longer, but I can just tell I'm a little weak in it. Yeah. Yes, you need to represent them. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what it is. And it's like, again, when you go through times, you want that love and that support. Because if you give that out, it comes back to you when you need it. And again, when you're going through a health crisis, you want people around you that love you. And that's how you get better. And you think of a dude that's got 30 women and you something happens to you, where they gonna all be? Who's gonna be there for you? Then that's the thing. Who's going to be there for you? And I don't think people, think about that. Of course, your parents, But what about, because the love you give, and it's just like the respect you give, you can give back. And that's the best way to heal. So, I'm not going to go long. Again, I'm still a little bit under the weather. My heart is beating at 72 beats per minute. And I kind of tell I'm getting a little worked up. So, as I get better, I'll come on a little more and more. I'm still fighting a cold. My wife kissed me and gave me her cold. So I've been hawking up stuff and I can feel it in my chest. So please forgive me for not going on long. But I just wanted to, let you know that I'm okay. What happened to Bobby Hemmett, I got lucky and didn't happen to me. And just let you know that's why I haven't been on, is that, I went through what I went through and I'm better and I'm getting better. And what's funny is I don't even know if I could show this, but when they put these things on you, it's big stickers. I mean, you can't even tell. I've been poked so many times. This was all black and blue. I mean, it's just. I was going to email you and talk about when I saw you live, hear from you instead. Yeah. So, I'm hey, Jeffrey Lang, Jeffrey knew about me. So, thank you,
Brother Nick, I appreciate that. And so, Jeffrey, I'm sorry, I got to leave. But again, my voice is really weak and my chest is kind of, and my heart rate is pretty cool. So I want to keep it that way. So I'll be coming on, periodically, getting my stamina back. But thank you for, for those that, reached out to me and those I reached out to. I appreciate it. And thank you for the love and support. Thank you for coming in tonight. And I look forward to, getting back as I get a little stronger.